Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to a new cycle on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Uyi Agumofwegbe. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV, channel 365 and free-to-air on Nightcomsat. You can download the Global TV Nigeria mobile app for Android and iOS devices to keep track of our 24/7 broadcast. Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has charged member states of the Economic and Community of West African States, ECOWAS, to recommit themselves to the ideals of regional integration and the vision of prosperous, peaceful, and united West Africa. He also implored the countries in the sub-region to remove trade barriers by ensuring free movement in the West African corridor and build a region that is not only prosperous and peaceful, but also inclusive and equitable, as well as a region where every citizen has the opportunity to thrive. The House of Representatives has called on the federal government to urgently strengthen security in Zamfara State, particularly in communities grappling with persistent attacks by armed bandits. This resolution followed a motion sponsored by Hassan Shinkafi, the lawmaker representing Shinkafi Zermi Federal Constituency, during plenary. Shinkafi said the deteriorating security situation in Shinkafi and Zermi local government areas, where escalating attacks have led to widespread killings, maiming, and kidnappings. Shinkafi further lamented that military troops initially deployed to the area withdrew after 2 weeks, allowing bandits to regroup and resume attacks. First Lady Senator Oluremi Tinubu has thrown her weight behind the seats reservation bill for women in the parliament, urging the National Assembly to expeditiously pass the bill into law. The bill, sponsored by the Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, Benjamin Okeze Kalu, is currently before the House of Representatives for consideration and passage. Senator Tinubu, represented by Ajia Fatima Tajuddin Abbas, wife of the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Right Honorable Tajuddin Abbas, emphasized the importance of women's leadership in shaping their country's future. The Federal Executive Council has approved provisional licenses for 11 new private universities. This was disclosed by Minister of Education, Dr. Tunji Alausa, after the Federal Cabinet meeting at the Presidential Villa in Abuja. The minister said the universities had passed through processes set out by the National Universities Commission, NUC, explaining that even though the Federal Executive Council had placed a moratorium on new private universities, the ones being approved had gone far in their registration process. Bayelsa State Government has lifted the ban on employment in the state civil service. The state government made this known in a special announcement signed by the Permanent Secretary, Civil Service Commission, Dr. Stanley Sukarian. According to the announcement, the letters should be addressed to the chairman of the Bayelsa Civil Service Commission. An embargo came into effect after the employment of 1,000 graduates during the last administration of Henry Siriake Dixon. Minister of Interior Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo has highlighted the growing importance of civil defense in safeguarding human lives, supporting sustainable development, and protecting critical national assets and infrastructure. The Nigeria Security Civil Defense Corps commemorated the 2025 International Civil Defense Day organization with a call for collective action, international cooperation, and community engagement in strengthening civil defense and disaster risk reduction efforts. Godwin Sunday was there for Global TV.
The International Civil Defense Day is observed globally on March the 1st. With this year's theme, a civil defense guarantee of security for population. The highlight of the day saw civil defense teams conducted large-scale emergency drills, showcasing their ability to respond to natural disasters, fires, and other crises. The Minister of Interior, Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo, who was represented by Secretary of the Civil Defense, Correctional, Fire, and Immigration Board, Abdulmalik Jubri emphasized the increasing frequency and severity of security threats worldwide and the need for collective action, international collaboration, cooperation and community engagement in promoting civil defense and disaster risk management and reduction.
In the recent years, the world has witnessed an increase in the frequency and severity of security threats. This trend has highlighted the importance of civil defense in protecting human lives, promoting sustainable development, and protection of critical national assets.
The Commandant General of Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, Ahmed Audi, highlighted the importance of collaboration among security agencies and stakeholders to create a safe world, while reiterating the commitment of the Corps in protecting critical national infrastructure and strengthening physical security measures.
As civil defenders, we should be seen to be proactive rather than reactive. Hence, the need to work out modalities and develop strategies towards preventing threats and enhancing safety and security. This could be achieved by strengthening the existing security measures and engaging in risk awareness campaigns to educate the general public on measures and steps to adopt when faced or confronted by potential threats. In all this, the need for collaboration and synergy among security agencies and other critical stakeholders, including local and international bodies, becomes very, very imperative, especially by engaging in sharing of ideas, knowledge, expertise to make the world safer and more secure.
The high point of the event was the presentation of checks worth over 188 million to the families of more than 20 deceased officers as part of their insurance benefit. Godwin Sunday, reporting for Global Television News.
Thank you so very much, Godwin. The Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, has announced the country's power generation reached 5,713.60 megawatts on Tuesday, marking the highest level in 4 years. TCN says the latest figure represents the highest peak generation for 2025 and was successfully transmitted across the grid. However, the company noted that while the latest peak is 88 megawatts lower than the all-time record of 5,801.60 megawatts set on March 1, 2021, it remains a significant achievement. The All Progressives Congress, APC, in Benue State has promised new and old members of the party of equal opportunities in building a stronger house. The state governor, Hyacinth Alia, made the emphasis at a ceremony to mark the defection where thousands of defectors from different political parties joined the ruling APC in Lesel, Oshongo local government area of the state. Ogochukwu Mobudo has more.
The All Progressive Congress hierarchy under the leadership of the governor Hyacinth Alia arrived Lesel, headquarters of the Oshongo local government area, where supporters gathered in demonstration of their support for the party. Deputy Governor Sam Ode, who represented the governor, while addressing the crowd of supporters, reaffirmed the commitment of the present administration to continue to align with policies and programs targeted at improving the well-being of the masses. He assured both old and new members of the party of equal opportunities for the overall development and good of the state.
That your own son is today a professor and is also on his way joining us in this game of politics to continue from where you stopped. We appreciate you. We are not unmindful of your contributions to the growth of democracy in this country.
Majority Leader of the Benue State House of Assembly, Sata Tisar, insisted that the Oshongo people have every cause to support the governor due to his love, as demonstrated by key appointments of their sons and daughters in the present administration, as well as numerous projects being witnessed in the area.
The coming of the governor here is a blessing. It's a testimony that we are working and representing them very well. And because the governor has come here, it's assurance to them that everything that is in their interest will resolve at our home.
Leader of the DCAMSIS, Professor Kohol Lorem and others maintained that their decision to join the APC is due to the governor's style of leadership and promised to give their best to the party. APC Acting Chairman Dr. Benjamin Omale and the Chairman of the APC Elder Forum, Senator Barnabas Gemade, and other party stalwarts thanked the DCAMPs for the bold step in joining the ruling party, urging them to team up with the governor to accelerate development in the state.
Today is not just an original gathering, it's a strong and resounding statement of confidence in our great party. It is clear sign that the good people of Osongo local government area and Benue State at large are choosing progress, development, prosperity aligned with our APC party.
While we pay tribute to Governor Apereku and Reverend Father Moses Adazu, we miss no words whatsoever in stating very clearly that if we did not see Reverend Father Dr. Hyson Yomamalia as Governor of Benue State, we would never have known that governors can make progress for their people.
Supporters carried placards with various inscriptions demonstrating their support and solidarity for the governor and the APC. Ogochukwu Mobno reporting for Global Television News.
Well, thank you so very much for your reporting, Ogochukwu. In the meantime, Benue State Governor Hyacinth Alia says vulnerable groups and communities are to receive more support from the state government in the areas of capacity building and provision of incentives to boost economic activities and drive empowerment. The governor disclosed this at the Thanksgiving service in honor of the Executive Secretary of the State's Emergency Management Agency, Dr. James Opu, in Sembe Vandekia local government. Felicity Indere reports.
The Thanksgiving service was in honor of the Executive Secretary of the State Emergency Management Agency, SEMA, Dr. James Yopu, and their son, the Executive Governor of Benue State, Hyacinth Alia, for the uncommon service being rendered to the state. Governor Hyacinth Alia, who acknowledged infrastructure and social support deficiency in the area, announced that the state government will install 2 500 kVA transformers in Tambi and 6 motorized boreholes in each of the 5 kindreds to solve the challenges of electricity and water. In order to provide a better future for vulnerable people, the governor donated 10 million naira to support 30 people with special needs in the area, in addition to providing them with 2 months intensive training. Paramount ruler of the Tiv Nation, His Royal Majesty Professor James Ayate and Most Reverend Isaac Dugu, encouraged the governor to ensure the implementation of the open grazing prohibition and ranches establishment law to check the influx of herders in Sankara, Kwandi and other parts of the state. The celebrant was filled with immense gratitude to God for his immeasurable blessings and protection.
Through my interaction with UN organizations, to have UN present in Benue State today. And so we are happy that. And then, Federal has launched Tribute Solution Action Plan, which will now direct us how to move this IDP to ancestral home. So these are the joy I am sharing today as well. That the IDP are met a lot of December. If we meet them today, they will also be thanking God that Fadalia is doing well.
He also announced the adoption of an orphan whose parents were killed in the Kwande attacks as part of his humanitarian service to the society. At St. Margaret Catholic Church, Chichi, Tsambi in Vanike local government area of the state. Felicity Ndere, Global TV News.
Afam Osigwe, president of the Nigerian Bar Association NBA, has called for sweeping judicial reforms to address the growing backlog of cases in Nigerian courts, including a review of the role of the judiciary in pre-election matters and the scope of cases that should reach the Supreme Court. In a recent interview, Osigwe criticized the overwhelming number of cases that flood the courts, particularly pre-election disputes, which he believes should be handled internally by political parties rather than being justiciable. Osigwe noted that the judiciary is burdened by election-related cases which disrupt the hearing of other matters, delay justice, and place undue pressure on judges. One conversation that's been a long time coming. This is Global Television, and you're watching the live broadcast of News Cycle with Uyi Agumofwegbe. When the rest of News Cycle returns shortly, thousands evacuated as Japan's biggest fire in decades continues to burn. That's the story and others for you right after this short break. Do stay with us.
Do you know that Global Television can be watched in Nigeria and all over the world?
Download the Global TV Nigerian mobile app for Android and iOS devices to watch Global Television real-time from around the world. What are you waiting for?
Start downloading and stay connected to Global Television.
Thank you for staying with us, everyone. Let's return to the second part of the broadcast now with business, where French ambassador to Nigeria, Marc Fonbusha, has reaffirmed his country's commitment to remain Nigeria's strategic ally in developing solid mineral sector. He made this remark during a courtesy call on the Minister of Solid Minerals Development, Dr. Dele Alake, in Abuja. Sharon Ajay has details.
The ambassador noted that France is fully committed to supporting Nigerians' roadmap for mining development, with a very keen interest in investing in the rapidly developing solid minerals sector. He said France has shown enthusiasm, commitment, and readiness to implement tangible projects.
Humbly, but with the trust I have in my country, I come to offer you to, if you accept, debrief a bit about what we can achieve now, what could be the next steps.
In response to the visiting ambassador, the Minister of Solid Mineral, Dr. Dele Alake, acknowledged France's frontline position among prospective stakeholders who have shown interest in the solid mineral sector. The minister shared his optimism that the long-standing and robust bilateral relationship between Nigeria and France will be further enhanced. The minister reiterated that the core agenda of President Tinubu's policy initiative has been the diversification of the economy with emphasis on solid minerals development. He highlighted the imperative of continued engagement with the French team to identify serious French companies interested in the mining sector, whilst also fine-tuning areas of collaboration to concretize partnership based on the earlier signed MOU.
So our own objective is to further enhance this relationship, and like I said, put a lot of things into actionable format, and then put a timeline so that we can put ourselves on the edge, be on our toes, and be monitoring whatever that we are achieving as time goes on. Because as I told you, we are very, very much preparing for development of this sector.
Corroborating the ambassador, Deputy Head Regional Economy Department of the French Embassy, Caroline Lebator, expressed France's readiness to fund projects in the mining cooperation and collaboration with the ministry to gravitize French companies for development of the mining value chain. Nigeria and France has signed an MOU late last year on the heels of President Tinubu's state visit to France to develop joint projects for promotion and diversification of the critical mineral value chain with emphasis on technical assistance, capacity building, and remediation of abandoned pits. Sharon Ajay reporting for Global TV News.
Sharon Ajay, following developments in the solid mineral sector for us there. Thank you so very much, Sharon. The United Kingdom and Nigeria have committed to enhancing trade relations and driving economic growth through the implementation of Nigeria's National Quality Policy under the Standards Partnership Program Phase 2. This was issued in a statement from the British Deputy High Commission in Lagos. Launched in June of 2024, the SPP Phase 2 aims to eliminate technical trade barriers, improve regulatory compliance, and promotes export competitiveness between both nations. Let's go foreign with the news now. Gabon's military leader, General Brice Oligui Nguema, has announced his intention to run for president in next month's election. Nguema seized power in 2023 in a coup that ended the long-standing rule of the Bongo family. He then pledged to hand over power to civilians. The country has, however, since passed a new constitution and electoral code that critics argue were designed to favor a bid for the presidency by the junta leader. And now time for some sports. Coach Eric Chelle would most likely unveil his eagerly awaited lists of Super Eagles to prosecute this month's FIFA 2026 World Cup double-header against Rwanda and Zimbabwe today. Nigeria traveled away to Rwanda on March 21 before hosting Zimbabwe in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State capital. 4 days later, rewards are must-win encounters after the Super Eagles found themselves in an unfamiliar 5th place in Group C after taking just 3 points from their opening 4 matches in the qualifying tournament. Franco-Malian Shelley, who was employed late January with the task of rescuing Nigeria's flagging World Cup campaign, has traveled far and wide, locally and in Europe, to assemble these first set of players, which might be unveiled today, barring any last-minute change of mind. Tottenham Hotspur have entered the race to sign Nigerian forward Ademola Lookman from Atalanta when the summer transfer window opens. The North London club is set to battle Premier League rivals Liverpool and Chelsea for the signature of the 27-year-old CAF Player of the Year, with an offer around €45 million plus performance-based bonuses expected to be tabled. Spurs, who have scouted the player extensively in recent months, view Lookman as an ideal acquisition to bolster their attacking options following a turbulent season. And that's a full cycle on the news here. A quick reminder that Global TV is on DSTV channel 365, Star Times 276, and free to air on Nightcomsat. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms now showing on your screen using @Global TV NG. You can download Global TV Nigeria mobile app for Android and iOS devices to keep track of our 247 broadcasts. I'm Uyag Mofwegwe, saying a big thank you to you for watching. Coming up at top of the hour is Big Talk.
Do you know that Global Television can be watched in Nigeria and all over the world?
Download the Global TV Nigerian mobile app for Android and iOS devices to watch Global Television real-time from around the world. What are you waiting for?
Start downloading and stay connected to Global Television.